Hi, I'm Mark of the Natural Right Sangha. Thank you for listening to this. This is part two of the exposition about the pointers, practices, and possibilities that are listed on one of the pages of our naturalrightsangha.org website. You know, you've already seen the welcome. You know you're welcome to join as long as you promise to do the best you can to keep the precepts. We have videos about the precepts and they're on the website. And in the last video, where I did part one of the practices, pointers, and possibilities, some people wondered why. Why are you talking about other teachers and all this? This is a sangha, and hey, our natural right sangha is not meant to be a place where you come to achieve full enlightenment or awakening or anything like that. This is a stepping stone. This is a foundation stone for new people, okay? If you start with the Natural Right Sangha and move onward to some excellent teachers, or hopefully an excellent teacher, the one who really hits you both in the heart and in the head and deeper, that's beautiful. But I can guarantee, after too many years of experience, not too many, a lot, that these precepts cannot hurt you and will help you. Now, I want to mention that the definitions and usages of all the words and terms and precepts and phrases, everything, are all ours from the Sangha. And there are alternative definitions. We try to define terms as we go along. There's like 23 different words for satsang, definitions for satsang. Well, we use ours. And I just want to mention that so that's clear. If you have any questions, write to me, mark@naturalrightsangha.org. Now, in part one, we talked about I'll go in order. We talked about the duality of language and to examine feelings. You have to watch to get the full thing. To take the time to examine ananda, which is usually translated as bliss and is part of Sat-Chit Ananda, but I think is more accurately translated as divine peace. We talked about nature and how important it is to maintain our contact with that, even if it's just a little bit each day if we're stuck in a 9-to-5 job in an urban environment. We mentioned Shravana, Manana, and Nijidasana. And those are absolutely essential. And I can't go into again or this will become an hour long, but they are inherent to everything we do and inherent to any good spiritual practice, actually. And we talked about spiritual teachers, which brings us to now. Because we're starting with remember what a truly realized person is. And a truly realized person is no longer affected by fear. Has no fear. Isn't proud of much, anything really, and also isn't ashamed of much. They live naturally, ethically. They live in a way designed to cause no harm to people. No enlightened person will deliberately harm someone else. Now, what would an enlightened person do in an emergency situation where there's a fire and people might die inside a building? Would they jump in there and save them or stand still or run away? Don't know. That's a big question, which we can talk about some other time. They won't necessarily be heroic, but they also won't be cowardly. Okay, I'm feeling mealy mouth. I'll stop on that one. No, but we talked about how powers mean nothing. If I can read your mind or move something by pointing at it, or heal you, or predict the future, or know your past, all of those powers are absolutely meaningless as far as enlightenment goes, or any spiritual knowledge really goes. Some people have those at birth. Some people develop them and nothing else. They're meaningless. The Swami Vivekananda, who was Ramakrishna's number one guy, Swami Vivekananda said that those powers come naturally as you move up in spiritual attainment. And the best thing you can do is totally ignore them. Just let them go. They're a distraction, and they're a way to start thinking, wow, hey, I'm pretty special. I can do this. I can do that. And then people come up and go, oh, you're pretty special. You can do this. You can do that. And then you get caught in the, you'll pay me money to do this? Well, hey, little cutie, you'll drop by my apartment later if I do this? Or whatever it is. No, that's not a real spiritual teacher. That's someone who has some powers and maybe had an awakening, but they haven't worked through their vasanas and samskaras. They're still caught up with sex, drugs, fame, power, money. Okay, a combination of all of them, probably, at least a couple of them. An author proposed that in a book, Guru, The Story of Heather by Devin Adler, and he proposed this thing. And I haven't found any teachers yet who, when they fell, started off well but went bad. It wasn't to one or more of those five. Someone said, oh, well, greed's part of it. And I went, well, greed is money. I mean, it has the same thing, so. But, so be careful in your choice of teachers. And I want to offer myself as a helper in this for you. If you are new in the spiritual field and starting out and using the precepts as a strong basis for your study, if you ever have questions about a teacher, you're welcome to contact me. And I never say anything publicly bad about teachers, but if I think you might be headed on a strange course, I can maybe give you a couple things to look for to make sure you're okay. Yeah, which brings me to accepting all paths. Now, everyone's path is different. We've said this in a few different ways, but some people make it by dancing, some by singing, some by chanting, some with mantras, some with intense devotion, some with service, some with meditating and contemplating and going deep into the meanings and going deep into the self. There's all sorts of ways, the paths that work. And to say that any is bad is wrong. Okay, it's certainly not right. I mean, people have worked every path to ultimate completion. So let us not ever say that won't work. Just don't let them tell you it's the only one that works for everybody or it's the best. Might be best for him or her, doesn't mean it's best for you. Now, maybe it is, but don't believe it just because they said so. Do your Shravana, Manana, Vidyasana. Make sure. Okay. Now, mantras are beautiful. I love mantras personally. If you would like a mantra that you think would help focus you and get your mind, I'm willing to help with that. In India tradition, only a guru can give a mantra. Well, I'm not a guru, but I can definitely help you get a useful mantra. And then someday when you find your true guru, if this happens for you, then they can give you their real mantra. But until then, mantras can help people. And if you feel it does, talk to me and we can work on that. Now, the next thing on our list on this page is mindfulness. And all that means is keep the precepts in mind. And look at them occasionally during the day, read through them. Hopefully you'll get to the point where you go, oh, I was just making an assumption there. Oops, caught myself. Saved myself some pain, I think, just now. Or, oh, I was expecting. Oh, crap, expectation. Got me again. Or, did you hear what Sally did? Really? She did? With Joe? Oh shit, I'm in gossip again. I'm in gossip. No, sorry, these things are somewhat natural. Just to be aware, though, that we get caught up in them sometimes. Okay, and not to kick yourself in the butt, just to try to steer clear of them and to move away from it and make it a habit to move away from it. And pretty soon it's not happening anymore. Now, at the bottom of our page here, we have an inspiration for new pointers. And I have a long list of teachers who have contributed in some way to the Natural Right Sangha. Not that they were intending to contribute to the Natural Right Sangha. That was the last thing on their minds, hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago in some cases. But their teachings have helped us. And if you ever have questions about any of these teachers, I know quite a bit about many of them, in fact, all of them. I know something about all of them, and quite a bit compared to someone who doesn't know who they are, but not compared to a guy who studied them their whole life, of course. But please send the questions to mark@naturalrightsangha.org, and I will do the best I can to help you out. And to answer it for everybody, because if you have the question, probably everybody does. At the bottom of the page, or on the right on the bottom of the page, I've got pointers from Nisargadatta Maharaj. One of these pointers is to speak in the passive voice. And this is a good idea, or to think in the passive voice anyway, because if you speak in it, you'll sound funny. The ball was kicked by me. Dinner was eaten by me. No, I ate dinner and I kicked the ball. Okay. But in your mind, if you think of it more in the passive voice, this will get you more in tune for what the sages say is really how things are. And to take 10 minutes each evening and to sit back and to reflect in various ways is a good thing. And in another video, I will share a few ways to use this time and a few practices that are recommended by some great sages when you have the time to reflect on them. So if any questions about how to join the Natural Right Sangha, it's all on the website. It's easy. You're welcome. There's no charge. And thank you for listening.